Less than a week until Donald Trump returns to the White House. Can we still call it the White House? It's less than a week until Donald Trump returns to the privileged oppressor house. And I've always been very clear I'm not a big fan of Donald Trump, but I will concede that Donald Trump 2.0 is very different to Donald Trump in 2016. And it's no coincidence that Hamas are now actively seeking a ceasefire. If that happens in the next few days, the Biden administration will claim that they've done it, provided that Joe Biden can remember who he is and where he is. But make no mistake, the reason that the Islamist terror group want a ceasefire with Israel is they are shitting themselves on what will happen if there's still an active conflict when Trump is in charge. Since he was re-elected, we've seen the rise of Trump derangement syndrome. And that's what this video is about, because I think we've reached peak woke insanity from the Orange Man Bad Brigade.
So, MAGA, did your gas prices go down? Did your food prices go down? Did your stupidity win? Ding, 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 ding.
Have your gas and food prices gone down? She does realise he's not in office yet. In fact, that was the weird thing for me with the Harris campaign, where Kamala Harris would constantly say, from my first day in office, from day one, I'm going to do this. And I was thinking, you're already in office, you're the fucking vice president. As for our new friend there, calling people stupid and posting that video, because to me, she doesn't come across as an emeritus professor of history, more like a lonely woman with an undiagnosed mental illness living with 15 cats. This next clip does go on a bit.
Okay, so I need to get this earworm out that I've been having for the last 2 days. Keep it Kamala, keep it Kamala, da da dun dun da dun 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 dun. So, yeah, last 2 days, and this just gives me so much joy and tingles. Also, I was talking to my husband, like I said, who's very logical, and I outlined on paper all these little bits and pieces that I've picked up, and now he's kind of seeing, okay, he's like, all right, there is a path to the result that we're expecting. And trust me, it's for sure. And let me tell you about synchronicities and signs, and I caught one last night, and this is how I've been operating my life. Signs and synchronicities tell me that I am on the right path, and usually yields the results that I expect due to those signs and synchronicities. So here's the conversation that my friend and I were having last night, along with a portion of what ChatGPT had said. And I've been hearing the 11th hour, and I've seen this around, and every time I see that 11th hour, I get tingles and chills, also a sign that I'm on the right path, right track. So it's so appropriate. Today is January 11th. I mean, you can't get any more aligned than that. And if you think I'm bullshit, you can F off, because seriously, I'm telling you, you're not living your life correctly if you're not ignoring all the signs and synchronicities. So I hope you have a great day. Just keep that flame alive. Seriously.
For me, the most remarkable thing there is that she's got a husband, but I guess with the voice of an angel, how could any man resist? The delusion of these people never ceases to amaze me. That they're still thinking, at this last minute, something's going to happen to allow Harris to be president and Trump won't get to the White House. Now, I'm fairly certain one of the first things that Trump will do is pardon himself for the crimes for which he's been convicted, because Joe Biden did that with his money-laundering, prostitute-using, crackhead son. So being president no longer means you have to have any form of moral high ground. And as for getting advice from ChatGPT, I don't think that's going to be the best place to get legal counsel, given that just last year I asked ChatGPT how many active volcanoes are there in England, and it replied 12. She recorded it on the 11th. I don't know what the relevance really is, because today's the 15th and fuck all has happened. But talking about AI, I think one of the best AIs on the market at the moment is Grok on the X platform. And of course, X is owned by Elon Musk.
I'm going to pee on Elon Musk's grave. That is what keeps me alive every day, is knowing that I have to live long enough to do that.
What a strange chap. His reason for living, his entire essence of existence, is that one day he'll get to urinate on the grave of a person he's never met and will most likely never meet. I can't comprehend an existence where I would awake every morning counting down the days until I could piss on someone's final resting place. Not only that, but Elon Musk is still alive, so our new friend is also praying for the day that he can siphon the python on the grave of someone who at present is still alive and well. Very strange. But of course, Musk teaming up with Trump has triggered a lot of people, including a lot of celebrities who said they'd leave X, which they did, and then quietly came back on. It's also got people into the 4B movement. These are women who vowed they will have no relations with men for the next 4 years.
Absolutely will be doing this 4B movement. I am going to absolutely be getting self-defense classes, going to the shooting range. I'm talking about everything. They even mentioned sharpening your teeth. I heard getting your nails like sharp, getting some nails put on that sharp, holding a baton, anything. I don't care. It's up. It is shut down. Absolutely.
In a way, I have to admire her optimism. That she feels the need to take self-defense classes and carry a gun, as well as sharpening her teeth and her nails, lest men, unable to control their lust, force themselves upon her. Why is it the fuck ugly ones that always think they're attractive? Does she not own a mirror? I guess maybe you could have some depraved pervert lurking in the bushes, and as she waddles past, he may think at least that one can't run away. But this is all about the US election, and I'm a Brit, so my opinion doesn't count for shit. Or maybe it does with this final clip.
I think we should start a political movement, a party of Americans who want to go under British rule again. I think we should be called the Teabaggers. We're going to fish all the tea out of the Boston Harbor and we're going to give it back, like as a peace offering. Like, please take us back. As the president of the Teabaggers, I would like to sign the Declaration of Dependence. I think maybe it might be nice if we got back together. You know, it's been a long time and we've both changed a lot. Like, we're not even the same countries anymore. It's just like, give it a shot, you know, like maybe like meet for coffee or tea, talk about it. Don't you miss us? Like, colonies?
Americans who want to come back under British rule. Trust me, my friends, you don't. Not at the moment, not with this shower of shit, pseudo-Stalin-esque government we've got. However, if there are Americans who want a British ruler, I will put myself forward for the job. I should warn, however, that ruler will very quickly become dictator. Because earlier in the year, a thing went round on TikTok that men spend too much time thinking about the Roman Empire, and that confused me because I don't. But it does occur to me I'm at an age where, when I'm at work, I spend a lot of time listening to podcasts about Nazi Germany. So having me in charge, things will go very wrong very quickly. However, being called the Teabaggers, no, don't do that. My friends in the New World, teabagging means something very different here in the UK. Teabagging is the act of a man putting his scrotum in and out of his lover's mouth. That's not a good look for a fledgling political movement. Or getting the tea out of the harbour as a peace offering. We're not still pissed about that. That's absolutely fine. It's not like within the taverns and inns of Old England, every evening we sat around talking about the Boston Tea Party and those pesky colonials. In fact, when it comes to tea, the only thing that Americans do that pisses off us Brits is when they make it in a microwave. The godless heathens! He says we're different countries, and yes, lots has changed, but as far as I'm aware, it's still the United States of America and the United Kingdom, and it has been a very long time since the New World and Old England were one. We used to fight one another, whereas now British and American troops go into war as allies, and that is another slight sore point for me as a Brit, that every Hollywood film about World War II sort of implies that America did it all on its own, and not that Britain stood alone against the tyranny of Nazi Europe for several years, because it also discounts the Canadians, the Jamaicans, the Indians, basically the entire British Empire. Not only that, but in World War II, 7 out of 10 Germans killed in combat were killed by the Russians. Once again, I listen to a lot of podcasts. I digress. Anyway, by Monday, hopefully we'll see the end of Trump derangement syndrome as reality kicks in, and many world leaders are going to be at the inauguration. One who's notable by his absence is the British Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, because that twat hasn't been invited. That's the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, please do like and subscribe if you haven't already, and as ever, thanks for watching. He was re-elected. We've seen the rise of Trump derangement. Why the fuck am I leaning back like that? Not on a fucking roller coaster. Trump derangement syndrome, in which the woke far left are, fuck it. Food and gas prices, fuck it. Did food and gas prices go down? Is she aware that he's not yet in office? So, fuck it, I'll do it again. The remarkable thing there is that she's got a husband. Who knows, maybe he's deaf. Suggesting getting the tea back out of the harbour. I'm guessing by now, if they can find it, which they won't be able to, trust me, we don't want it. And it's not like over here in merry old England, we're still talking about this. We don't sit about in the inns and the taverns talking about the pesky colonials over in the New World and the Boston Tea Party. And I forgot the next line.